It is an absolute delight to have you with us on a rainy day, which means there's no better place to be than here together. So I'm Nicole Jelly, for those of you that may not know me, and I'm the Executive Director of the Talent Pool. And we are affiliated with the Chamber of Commerce, and we're an organization that focuses on supporting community partners and businesses identify and access what we call the hidden talent pools. And so you're going to hear a little bit more about the hidden talent pools as we talk today. But I have to say to you that this session is very close and dear to my heart. It is a topic that I am personally passionate about. As the talent pool, it is a cause that we absolutely believe in. And I think that as the hours progress, you're going to be energized by an amazing panel of speakers. And I think that all of us agreed earlier on that there are no limits to the discussion. There are no sacred topics in this conversation, and we are going to explore really the possibilities around the topic of competence, competencies, and critical skills. A couple of household items. You all have a folder. What we do is after each event, we produce a comprehensive report with all of the information, and we are very lucky today that thanks to a great community partner, Immigrant Services Calgary, who is in the room, very well represented. We're also videotaping the proceedings. So there will be a video available for all of you, and you will be more than welcome to use it to refresh your memories. And it will be uploaded on our websites and also on the websites of the panel of speakers. So you can take notes or simply enjoy the conversation because you will receive a report and a video. There's also materials on this table graciously brought by our panel of speakers. We will make these available in links. We didn't want to submerge you with 50 pounds of paper and kill another 3 forests. So that will be made available to you. What you have in your folders is some critical information. I did not print the entire report of the Global Human Capital Trends 2015 by Deloitte. It's 120 pages. So I thought before our good partners at the Chamber kicked me out that I would give you just a few critical pages. But I do recommend you download this one. It is extremely important information that is contained in it. Also, you have the latest manpower survey, and that is printed in full in your folders. And again, there's some very interesting comparisons between Canada and the rest of the world in terms of human capital trends. So those are important documents that we share with you. Thanks to our good partners in the government of Alberta, we have information on the job grant. So again, good refresher. And the very latest from them, a cheat sheet of important information. So don't leave home without it. Take it with you. So before I introduce our panel of experts, why did we become so passionate on the topic that we're going to be exploring today? I thought that better than me musing around competencies and critical skills, I would share with you the content of a Globe and Mail article that was published on May 19th. And I'll be more than happy to send the link with a report. I'm just going to give you some highlights. The reality is that we as Canada are not a competitive manufacturing economy. The Boston Consulting Group, a competitiveness index, has recently stated that our relative cost competitiveness declined, and we have almost no growth in productivity. Now, it is no secret that we do not rank favorably among the OECD countries when it comes to productivity. Our productivity has stagnated. In order to sustain economic growth in the new global economy, our ability is extremely limited. No, it's not all doom and gloom, but it is a little bit of a wake-up call. There appears to be a growing incompatibility between economic growth and jobs. Technology companies are the top risers, and if we are to be a knowledge-based economy, we're going to be driven by technology. Can anyone in the room hazard a guess what is the single largest market valuation company since the beginning of the year in the world? It's a company that is creating a lot of, oh my God, I wish we could kill them. Maybe that will help you. Uber. In the short span that Uber came on board, Uber has now a market valuation of $44 billion with 500 employees scattered around the world. It has bypassed all of the traditional ones. So maybe if we put this in context and we think that our traditional economy drivers are going to propel us into the likes of Uber, maybe we need to wake up. So this great panel today is going to help us entertain a very healthy conversation. And please note the word conversation. What we really would like together is to engage a dialogue, because we can't continue to do what we've always done the way we've always done it. We all know what definition that is. So, to my immediate right, Janet Lane, who's the director for the Canada West Foundation Centre for Human Capital Policy. Janet is a well-known figure in Calgary and in the human capital community, and I'm sure most of you in the room know her. Janet is really going to be focusing on the critical aspect of skills shortages. The fact that there is a contraction at the moment does not mean that we have a surplus of skills, actually to the contrary. So Janet will be talking about this. Her biography is way too long for me to recite it. I won't. And still, to do justice to Janet, she has a BS from the Western University and MA from Royal Roads. And of course, thanks to her, the foundation champions a West that thrives as if people reach their full potential. And remember, shortages, potential, competitiveness. So Janet will help us launch that topic. She will be immediately followed by Mr. Agitator, Jeff Griffiths, who is a seasoned organizational development consultant and who single-mindedness passion is on competency. So Jeff is going to really begin to help us understand what does competency profiling and development means. And again, he has a real curriculum behind him to back him up. And I am not going to even begin to recite the many organizations and all of his achievements, but please read his biography, because this is a gentleman that knows the topic inside out and upside down, both sides of the pond. Followed by Dirk Volshank. And if passion has a face, Dirk, I think it's your photo. And it is around competencies and national frameworks. Because competencies are not just single attributes that you may have and I may lack. It's really a national platform and a commitment at all levels: government, industry, individuals, not-for-profit. It can't be an isolated effort. So Dirk has been able to really launch what is a framework in today's South Africa. And this system that he started is today the National Competencies-Based Qualification Framework. Something we don't even begin to know what that looks like. So Dirk will be talking to us about it, and closer to home, what is happening in his organization today and how he brought this macro vision at the organizational level. Followed by Jennifer Bertrand. Very thankful that you came all the way from Edmonton to be with us. And Jennifer is the registrar of the Association of Science and Engineering Technology Professionals of Alberta. So if there is an industry sector, if there is a professional activity that really screams qualifications, it's engineering and science. So we've got exactly the right person to talk to us about what does that look like. And bringing up the rear, a good friend of mine, Adam Cernicki. So most of you, if not all of you in the HR community, you know Adam. I don't need to introduce him. He teaches at Mount Royal. He teaches at UFC. He's a director of the board of the HR Association of Alberta. And in his spare time, which is a lot, he is also a full-time HR manager for Western, oh my God, Adam.
Great West.
Thank you. Thank you. So that is going to be the vision of what each one of us at our organizational level can do, could do, should do. Because once we talk macro, then we still go back home and we have to put it in application. I have to say to you that I'm very grateful to this panel for dedicating their time and their knowledge and being so generous with both. We're very lucky to have them with